Hi, my name is Karen Ferries-Yoon, and this is the Cocktail Party Chef. This episode will be all about creating a holiday buffet of easy snacks. So I do and a crudité platter I'm going to show you how to do. So this will be all about like picky little foods that you can definitely do ahead of time and crowds will love. So one of the biggest requests I get for bar snacks. So bar snacks I divide into 4 categories. Crispy crunchy, like potato chips. Classic, so mixed olives and mixed nuts would be an example of a classic bar snack. I have cheesy, so like cheese straws and stuff like that. Pesto flatbread is another thing, and then I have healthy and good for you like edamame. So we're gonna cover a lot of those bar snacks today. So I do herb roasted mixed olives. So mixed olives, I just got at the store, like a combination of green and black, different sizes. I drained most of the brine. And I'm gonna add red chili flakes, dried spices, so dried oregano, and it also gets fresh spices, or fresh herbs actually. So I have sage here. I'm gonna show you how to chop sage. So kind of pick off the leaves and then scrunch them up together and finally chop them. And chop it once again. That's it. Goes in. And also fresh parsley. Just pick up the leaves. So the trick for chopping parsley correctly is that you really want clean parsley, and it has to be dried. It can't be wet or damp, and a sharp knife. This will give the olives a brightness. It'll be really good. Okay, scrunch it up like that and just chop. And then chop once again over and then done. Okay, those go in there, in the bowl. And also orange zest. So I use a microplane. If you don't have a microplane, I'll show you 2 ways to do it. If you don't have a microplane, you can zest it like this, or you can take a vegetable peeler, simple vegetable peeler, and do long strips. Oh, okay. All right, making sure you don't get try not to get any of the white part underneath, but it's a little hard. So that's the bitter part you don't want, but sometimes if it's too much white part like here, try to trim it off. You have to be really careful because you don't cut yourself. So something like that is perfectly fine. So we'll take a little bit more out of them here, pith. And so long strips. Okay, like that. Long strips of orange sauce. And then I'm doing 1 bunch. I just cut it in half and just finely chop it. Enough. And you're actually going to want to season your olives with olive oil because these are going to go in the oven. It's going to take about 15 minutes, about 400. Salt and pepper. Okay. I always use freshly ground pepper. I just do a big batch of pepper and I put it in a jar with the kosher salt I like to use. Or I like to use Belen, which is like a fine sea salt. And there's one thing, garlic, always needs garlic. So this I'm going to smash with the peel on, smash like that. Take off that. I'll show you. So 3 slices down, 3 cuts down, turn it over and then do 1 cut down the middle and then chop it like that. Okay, and then just go over it once more. And then that's good to go. So we just toss it together. See? All the herbs. So we have parsley, we have fresh sage and parsley, we have chili flakes, and I think I said dried oregano, garlic, salt and pepper, and olive oil. So finished wise, they look like this. So in the oven they go. 15 minutes I said. And so this is a finished batch, and these can keep for like months, a good month. So this is something you definitely do ahead of time. And then I just spoon them in here. And I also have this kind of cute slice. So for the holidays, it's nice to bring out your festive holiday stuff. This is a good way of using the sleigh. And I just lined it with a cocktail napkin with mistletoe. And because you used orange in the mix and the olives, I like to put an orange peel just to give an indication that there's orange in this. It's kind of, if it doesn't twirl, I just kind of curl it with my finger. It will twirl like that. Another slice here. Twirl it again around your finger if you want. Something like that is pretty. And so you might want to give something for the pits because these aren't pitted olives, so something for the pits there. And I also make them as great gifts in a jar. So that is mixed olives. I'm going to show you how to do mixed nuts. So mixed nuts are one of those classic bar snacks that people love. I'm using a mix of, let me see, I've got whole almonds, cashews, walnuts, I've used pistachios, almonds of course is good, I think I said that. Anyways, like 4 kinds, and it's just simple, and these get cooked in the oven. So you can do them about a few weeks in advance and they stay. So brown sugar goes in, melted butter, olive oil, a little bit of smoked paprika, and then a little bit of chopped fresh rosemary. Not too much. Okay. Take off the leaves and then just finely chop them. So if you do this 2 weeks in advance, the day of your party, you can take them out of the container and reheat them in a low temperature oven about 250, 275 for about 10 minutes to rewarm them. So all together they get mixed into the oven. Something that's really easy. I know you can buy mixed nuts. You can also buy mixed olives, but when you make them, guests really notice like the difference in the flavor. I highly advocate making as many things as you can as possible. So here's some finished nuts we're gonna put in here. So here I have a different mix. I have hazelnuts, a little different mix. Hazelnuts have to, when you finish roasting them, you have to take off their skin. Oh god. Okay. Since we use rosemary in with the mixed nuts, I'm going to put some rosemary in the bowl. Okay. In terms of just a little decor or something. What can we use? Kind of cute. It's just mini poinsettia. It's right here. And just a little sprig of holiday greenery, and that's it. So I'm going to show you another healthy and good for you bar snack. So it's edamame. So edamame you just boil like 3 minutes, that's it. Then I toss mine with hot chili oil. Togarashi, which is a Japanese spice. Gives it color and spice. And this is I love using molten sea salt. And I had never heard of molten sea salt until I started food styling in 2008, and they use it for texture and they use it for color, and it's a finishing salt. So when I use it, I kind of crumble it with my fingers. So take 1 sip of this really great, so I made a pomegranate fizz cocktail, and it's got vodka, pomegranate shrub, Palma, which is a pomegranate liqueur, which already has vodka and tequila in it, and it's finished off with Prosecco. So it is a great holiday drink, and it's not too sweet. You can drink it all night long. And a lot of people ask me, how do you prepare for the holiday parties? And I always say you have to pace yourself, because if you plan on doing everything in one day, that's bad news, because your energy is gonna go haywire. You're not gonna have fun at your party, much less fun prepping. So you always have to plan ahead. That's my strategy. It's not So if you're having a party on Saturday night, I would have your shopping list done by Monday. I would do all your specialty floral decor and stuff by Tuesday. Wednesday, you can do some light things like the olives or the nuts and stuff like that. And if you're doing cheese straws, you can have them frozen already. Thursday, you're just kind of keep on tackling the prep list, and you're getting all your glasses ready, your bar set up, you're getting all your alcohol delivered or purchased. Friday, you're still doing stuff. By Saturday morning, like the day of your party, before noon is like when everything should be done. And you have time for a cocktail. That's what I always like. I make time for my cocktail when I'm, party prepping for home parties and stuff like that. Because you just want to pace yourself. You want to pace your energy. Think of all the garbage, all the dishes. You got to think about that too. That's what I always tell people. So, okay, back to the edamame. So I'm going to mix it all together. I'm going to put in this bowl. I'm going to put it around this other bowl. And just to give the people the idea that they should put their empties in this bowl, I just put one in here. So people will know what to do. Oh, it's really good. It's just spicy and it's salty. And those are two flavors that go really well at cocktail parties with an alcohol, within a cocktail. Great. And next we have a pesto flatbread, which I do on a cauliflower crust, which is so good. It's a really, really good product. It's not only gluten-free, I make pizza on them, and I tell Sophie it's pizza, and she doesn't know it's cauliflower, so it's great. I also have cheese straws, which aren't gluten-free. I know there's gluten-free puff pastry. I just haven't tried it yet. I just these with Parmesan and black pepper, and again, so these are frozen. These are frozen items that you bake, and you can bake the day of, but you can freeze them, again, up to 2 weeks to a month in advance. So I like to just not randomly scatter them. I like to give some height. I would probably present it something like this. That looks elegant. Pesto flatbread. I'm just going to cut into just thin wedges. Again, it's that crispy flavor. You've got cheese in the pesto. It's a real winner. This, if you had a party starting at 7, you could easily do by noon, okay? And it would be all fine. And just keep it at room temperature. You can heat it up in the oven just before guests are coming, but totally good to have it done and out of the way. Okay. That was kind of like a stack. Kind of a random stack. Nothing too perfect. So I use my favorite pestos. There's so many different kinds of pestos. And I like the Gotham Greens kind, the one that you can find through Fresh Direct. And Gotham Greens is based in Brooklyn, New York. That's how we got to knowing the product, and I really like it. So, and it's got really good color. Some basil pestos don't have a lot of color, but this one has a great color and taste. And they also come a vegan too, so. Crispy and addictive. And it goes really well with a cocktail. I'm going to show you how to do crudités 2 different ways. So most people think of crudités as something, it's easy to buy. Of course, Whole Foods does a great job, Fresh Direct too. But when you can make them and you can source your own vegetables, it makes it just a better job, and it's prettier, and guests will notice most of all that you went to all this effort of making your own crudité platter. So at cocktail parties, I've been doing a lot of white bean. This is white bean and rosemary dip. I do a lot of beet hummus. And just to show guests that what it is, I put sliced beets on top, just in one side. So people are they're like, something's pink, slightly purple, what is it? And then when they see the beets, it's like, oh, it's something to do with beets. Okay, so that's why I do it. You can do the same thing with the rosemary dip. You can put some white beans on top and some rosemary. That's also pretty too. So this is the way that I would present the crudités, like that. So I'm going to show you another way. Another way is to do them in kind of a low old-fashioned glass or something, and you can put the dip on the bottom. Put the dip on the bottom, and you see, obviously I'm using a piping bag, but you could just spoon it in easily as well. So this is a white the white bean dip. And you can make your dips 3 days in advance is good. Okay, and so the way to cut crudités is that you want to choose, it's a little bit more work, so you want to choose vegetables that will stick out and look pretty and be vertical, obviously. So something like this. Start off, and people don't think of like romaine. They're like, romaine is a crudité dip? It totally is. Yep, if you eat it in salad, there's no reason why you can't eat it in crudité platter. I choose the inner leaves most of all, because they're pale green. Oops. Some that are big, you can slice in half. And it tastes good. It tastes good with all these dips. So then I have some some celery sticks. So whenever I see celery sticks that are always like pre-cut, they always look like they're brown. Don't look very appetizing. This is why I like to make my own crudités. So I also have some carrots. Some multicolored carrots are pretty. Instead of just using orange carrots, I use multicolored carrots, which I find you can find at Whole Foods. I find these are fresh direct. So a little big, so you'll see the difference in the color of the purple carrot. It's really pretty, different colored carrots in each one. Okay, so for bell peppers, so the whole thing about, when I worked in food styling, the whole thing was about the beauty of a vegetable, finding its most attractive parts. So the most beautiful part is like where, like what they call the hook of the bell pepper. So you want to just remove the white part and try to get, just do long slivers. Oops. Long slivers. So people see the hook and there's no white part. Okay. Let's see. Okay, wait, this gets another one. And let me see. This is, I think it's called broccolette or something. Instead of using broccoli, which is totally fine, this is kind of fun to use. I saw it. I was like, oh, why wouldn't it be good? So this is broccolette, so we're just going to put it in here. Maybe trim up a little bit because they're a little big. Okay. So the great thing about doing crudités like this is that people get their own dip, obviously, in crudité in one thing, and they can go off in a corner or something or whatever, and they don't have to like use a communal kind of thing. All right, so these are Persian cucumbers. The Persian cucumbers look like this. I already took the ends off, and you can see I just do spears, long spears, quarters, like that. So I think I have everything. So this is another way of presenting crudités, as well as this. And actually for a buffet, you could do these two ways. Give people the option. A couple carrots here. And I just lined this pedestal thing with cocktail napkins. You have to make sure that whatever you're serving is food safe, and I wasn't sure if it's food safe. It's something, this whole thing I got at Clover Market, and I just decorated with some greenery on the side. And there's your crudités for your food buffet. I'm going to show you how to do a Moscow mule. Moscow mules are one of those things that people make and guests or clients request all year round. For a wedding in 2017, they wanted Moscow mule, so I did a cute pairing. I did a buck and a mule with different flavorings. So it was really cute. It was a hit. So I'm going to do a lemongrass Moscow mule. So it's going to be got a lot of great flavor. And I love ginger and lime and mint all together. So we have in my cocktail book that it's where I write all my recipes for cocktails. So I filled these Moscow mugs with ice. So now I'm gonna add the lemongrass syrup. So lemongrass syrup is something that I did like 2 weeks in advance. I just infused lemongrass and sugar and water. And that's something definitely you're gonna do in advance. And then I'm gonna put about almost 1 ounce of syrup in each. And then it is ginger beer. So I like this brand, ginger beer, the Stoli kind, and it's almost about half a can for each Moscow mule. Okay. Next ingredient is lime juice. So about the same amount as the lemongrass syrup, so a little bit less than 1 ounce. Looks like half an ounce almost. So definitely want the brightness of it. And of course, vodka. So in about 1.5 ounces of vodka. So cocktails should have about 1.5 to 2 ounces of alcohol. And so my secret ingredient is a ginger shrub. So you're like, what's a shrub? So this is a great book that I found in Anthropology, and I found it in 2014 and I use it all the time. So a shrub is something you can make like a month in advance. The longer you make it, the more time that the flavors have to develop. So a shrub is a fruit syrup that's not cooked. It's made out of fruit, sugar, and vinegar. So I made a ginger shrub. I peeled it, put it in a blender, chopped it up, peeled it in a blender with sugar and apple cider vinegar. Okay. And then I'm just gonna garnish it with these lemongrass stalks. Give it a little stir. I'm gonna taste it because I'm kind of curious to see how it tastes. It's bright, got a lot of ginger. Of course I'd like more vodka, but it already has 1.5 ounces, so I'm okay with that. I don't think it needs anything else. Maybe a tad bit more lime juice to balance out the flavors, but I think it's pretty good as it is. If you want, you can garnish with some like just simple lime slice on top, and that's it. Thank you for watching The Cocktail Party Chef. To find me or my company, go to cocktailpartychef.com or Instagram, The Cocktail Party Chef.